Figuring out the Florida nursing home Medicaid application process shouldn't add to your existing stress as a caregiver. I'm Kellen Bryant, Florida Bar Board Certified Elder Law Attorney, and I've helped thousands of families just like you apply for Medicaid while protecting assets in the nursing home. In this video, I'm going to walk through the step-by-step process to apply for Florida Medicaid, what happens, who qualifies, and what mistakes to avoid. Let's get into it. This video is going to quickly go over the elements to become Medicaid eligible because you don't want to apply and not be eligible. I have other videos breaking down each of these rules. First, we want to have document verification. That means actual proof from third parties of the financial information that you put on the Medicaid application. Next, you have to be under the income limit. The gross income limit for Medicaid changes each year usually. It's linked to cost of living increases in Social Security. And if you're over the limit, you need to create an income trust. Third, there's an asset limit. Your countable assets need to be below the asset limit every month you seek benefits without any improper transfers of assets within 60 months prior to applying for Medicaid. And last, you need to have an application filed with a level of care. And that's what this video is going to cover. When you become and meet all the eligibility criteria, now it's time to do the actual application. There's a couple ways to file the application. It can be done from telephone. I don't like it. It can be done in person. I don't like it. It can be done through a paper and mail, which is okay. And it can be done online. Online's my preferred. And so if you're looking for the Medicaid application physical, Florida, you can look at Florida Medicaid application form PDF. And if you look, it's this first option. This is the format. This is what it looks like. And it should say access application Florida. And this is what the application looks like. They're going to ask, there's a lot of disclosures, rights. They're going to ask you financial information, expenses, income, assets. This is going to be like submitting a form online is what this feels. There's information about family, people living at your house, and then biographical information. That's what the physical application looks like, which is basically just like the online application. To get to the online application, typically, if we're in Google, we do Florida Medicaid application online access. So the funny thing is we say online access, but they're like you want online access, but the Florida Medicaid actually, their system to apply is called My Access. And if you hit apply now and create an account, you can now be off to the races when you put in your email address and you'll get in and get account started. And then once you're in the online system, this is where you're gonna get a physical or what is the online version of this physical form. And you would apply for nursing home Medicaid benefits, perhaps any other benefits that would also apply. You have the applicant's biographical information, you have some basic questions, and you have statements and attestations saying, hey, where this is all truthful. If it's not truthful, I'm going to jail. You're listing family members on the application. You have some basic questions about the family. Then you get into the tough part, which is the assets, insurance, and information. You're listing that information. They're asking if you closed accounts or given it away. Again, we don't want to lie about this. Then they're asking about income from the source. And then they're asking about expenses. And then at the end, that they're giving you a bunch of disclosures. So that's the Medicaid application itself in a nutshell. All right, so this is an overview of the application process. In other videos, I've described what the asset limits and getting under the asset limits, getting under the income limits. And in our firm, this is the first two stages of the process. And then we file at the end of the stage 2, we're filing the Medicaid application. Now that gets us into the next stage, which is application pending. And it's critical that any piece of financial information be sent and proven it was sent to DCF within 60 days of filing that application. So after you submit that application that you watched me go through moments ago, the government will issue what is called an informational notice of case action. You'll get something with the logo for DCF, something about access, and it'll be a letter stating you're over the asset limit, FYI, you need to be under, please show me how you use the funds, you need proof your assets being below the limit, you're also over the income limit, we need to run under the income limit, you must do this, you can do this, We need information about your income, and that is the next step. You should be getting this letter within 1 to 2 weeks from the date of the application, and the person who is filing for you or helping you or yourself is generally given a deadline. So this one, it's usually 10 days from the date of letter. So this usually it's dated on the date it is sent, but you may not actually get it until 1 or 2 days before the date it's due. So it's important to be proactive and be ready for these types of issues, making sure you hit all the rules, making sure you have all the documentation to prove that you did hit all the rules. And then your response should be well organized and explaining to the caseworker why you met the rules. And at that point, we move to our next phase, which is sometimes challenging. So when the information comes in, the caseworker is going to be looking at what you put on the physical application and comparing it to the data you provided. If anything's missing, Medicaid will be denied. If you're over any of the limits, Medicaid's denied. And it's all about these rules need to be met. If you're over the asset limit, Medicaid's going to be denied. And oftentimes what we see when there's assets, then Medicaid will deny the application because it's sometimes hard to get through all this stuff. And there is this back and forth process that needs to occur with appeal rights to push past roadblocks. And that's what the person filing your Medicaid application should push through, because the phone number here generally is not answered. There is, as you'll see in this document, there is no name. The only name I redacted was client name for confidentiality's sake, but there's no name in the caseworker. There's no email address. It is the black hole. So the biggest mistakes that I see in this process are, one, not being prepared. That means getting the documentation that DCF is going to request relating to your financials, income, assets, transfers. You can get far along in the process and DCF can ask for one document. And if you don't provide it, they'll deny it. And if you can't push past that denial, you are starting over. Next mistake is not making sure you understand whether or not you meet the rules and getting everything in place to meet the rules. Third issue is understanding who, if you're having somebody helping you, who they're actually working for. Oftentimes the nursing homes will either file applications for you or hire an attorney, or excuse me, not an attorney, a Medicaid planner to file for you. And the question is, does that person completing the application represent you and your rights as a Medicaid applicant? I'm talking to you as caregiver with power of attorney. Are they looking for your loved one, or are they looking just for themselves to get paid? That will control the actions. If you're looking to get it done as cheaply as possible, you may want to work, or there's not enough assets, you may want to work directly with the nursing to save money on fees. Of course, the money on fees will likely be equivalent to the savings that you get from working with an attorney, an elder law attorney who's done this before. So you need to decide, how are you going to proceed with the application? Who's going to be helping you, and who are they looking out for? If you're looking for more information about the Medicaid application nursing home process, there's plenty of videos on this channel to work through each of those individual issues to become Medicaid eligible. Thanks for watching.